His name is Christian Chukwu. He reports to a deputy governor.
Please, let's bear in mind that what the governor came here to do was enlighten us on a number of issues. This governor, I guess you know that's why you're here.
Yes, sir.
That's the job I know you're doing.
Yes, sir.
So let's be calm, listen to him, acquire as much information as we can, and of course acquire more knowledge and be better enlightenment.
Okay. Christian Chukwu reports to a deputy governor in charge of financial system stability, and that is Dr. Kingsley Moghalu. The report comes to a committee of governors of 5. 3 of that committee are Christians. It goes to a board of 11, 8 of whom are Christian. Now, those 8 Christians on our board and the 3 COG members and Kingsley Moghalu and Christian Chukwu, they must be very, very bad Christians if they are part of an attempt to Islamize Nigeria. So, I don't want to engage people. I can discuss this on a religious ground. I can quote from Exodus and Deuteronomy and Leviticus. I have sources from St. Augustine, St. Thomas Aquinas, St. Jerome, St. Ambrose, and different popes, Clement, up to Pope Benedict the Sixth. I have quotes on Islamic banking. And I can debate on religious grounds and prove to anybody based on the Bible. In fact, the Lateran Council of Christianity at one time said anybody who takes usury should not be buried in a Catholic cemetery. I can debate with anybody on religious grounds based on the Bible and the teachings of the church that usury is less consistent with Christian teachings than interest. Now, but it is not a religious discussion. We want a discussion on finance. You have a $1 trillion business. People can go and have alternative products. Those who don't want to take interest or give interest can have access to banking services, whether it's for religious grounds or ethical considerations. People who don't want their money to finance casinos or to finance prostitution or to finance breweries, if they feel that way, can go. If you want to go to this bank, non-interest bank, you go. If you want to go to a conventional bank, you go. Every financial system develops by bringing alternatives. The government of Japan is raising money through Islamic Sukuk. The government of the United States has raised money through Islamic Sukuk. At a time when the capital markets have dried up, the government of Malaysia 2 weeks ago issued a Sukuk trying to raise $2 billion. In 6 days, they had $9 billion because there's so much money in the Middle East going into those products. The ICRC in Nigeria is working with the central bank and the DMO to develop products. We want to advise the finance minister to go and tap into those markets in Asia and bring in $4-5 billion to finance infrastructure in the country. So in terms of being a financial product that opens up the economy, good for financial inclusion, for diversifying funding base, that is a discussion we should be having. It's not about Islamization. The central bank is not a religious institution. It's a Nigerian institution. And you've seen Governor Charles Soludo was a Christian and a Catholic. But he did more to promote and establish guidelines for regulating Islamic banking than any governor before him. And all I'm doing is completing the work. Now, I think as leaders, we need, on the one hand, to be very sensitive to people, which means we need to explain as much as possible and clarify the position, and I will continue to explain. I will continue to clarify. But we cannot continue to apologize for doing our work. And we cannot continue with this conversation at that level. We've got to continue raising it to a higher level, because we want to get to a point where Nigerians are now saying, is it good for Nigeria or bad for Nigeria? Forget the sentiment. So I thought I would explain this. The law is there from 1991. The process had been ongoing before I became governor. We have tried to put finishing touches to it, and for all we are concerned as central bank, we are simply carrying out our responsibility of making sure that people do not open up a bank and take people's deposits and then have those deposits go down the drain. We have to regulate and license and supervise the institution. I do hope that I have addressed many of the issues, including some that have been tangential to it. I do hope, because I have the highest, like I said, I went to a Catholic school. The reason I have not come out to reply to bishops or to reply to cans is because I have to continue respecting religious authorities. I have indicated to them privately, I am willing to meet any of them. I have actually asked to be invited to the Catholic Bishops' Council in July. I'm willing to go to Cannes. I'm willing to go to any church. I'm willing to go to explain to anyone who wants to understand what we are doing and why we are doing. But I don't want this to be a religious conversation. I don't want it to be an emotional conversation. I want to be discussing about finance, about economics, about regulation, about financial inclusion, because I'm the governor of a central bank. I'm not on a pulpit. And many of these leaders, unfortunately, get fed information and misinformation by people that they believe is true. I don't think that the bishop who said I was firing Christians just sat down and concocted it. Somebody that he believed maybe was telling him the truth would have gone to make that allegation. When I became governor of Central Bank, people called me and said, you know, Governor Soludo had sacked all the northerners and they filled the place with Igbos. My deputy governors know. I asked for the list of directors. If anything, the Igbos were underrepresented under Governor Soludo at the senior level. But people believed it. People, senior people were calling me. Because somebody maybe who didn't get a promotion had gone around to tell them that it's because he's from the north. And this is, I think, what we need to guard against as leaders at mischief. I think that what I should do, Mr. Speaker, is I have said enough, and I should take questions and try to answer if that is your wish.
Thank you very much, Mr. Governor. Thank you very much, Mr. Governor. My dear colleagues, you may do us gratitude.
Thank you, sir.
My dear colleagues, this is not a question and answer session, and we do not intend to make it as such. You have been invited by us to enlighten us on two subjects. I am certain that a number of us are satisfied. The governor of the Central Bank, who we know has very good of the day, and therefore,
Okay.